gonna see what animations we can add to our player, what kind of functionality we can add. Alright, so here, animation player. So far I only have, well, let's look. So far I only have where's our player script? What is this? Let's see, we have state, we have idle state, run state, jump state, and fall. Those are the 4 states I have working right now. I can add, look at all these animations I gotta add in. We can do air somersault. What about boost? Or, ooh, cartwheel. Crawl. I want to work on crawl, boost, down. Well, I kind of need enemies before I can do down. Could do inward slash. Could do swim. Let's do boost idle. Let's create a boost idle state. So that state's gonna be for multiplayer when you can boost a teammate up to a higher ledge. So yeah, we'll work on boost idle right now in the boost animation. So that is gonna be X. So project settings. Let's add another input. Add new action. We'll call it I feel like just X, honestly. X. We'll just call it X for now. And this is our X key. So we need to add a state for it. Bless me. Okay, another atomic state. We'll call this boost. And this will transition back to idle, I think, only. To idle. On event idle. Call this to idle. I only need to go into boost when I am pretty much just idle. Yeah. So idle. Call this to boost. This is going to our boost state on event boost. Okay. Jump state, fall state, boost state, funk, oh no, boost state. So on boost state, physics processing first. Boost state, physics processing, yeah, on the player script, okay. We need to boost idle.emit. So we'll have another signal called boost idle. Signal boost idle. Similar to idle, I want it to slow momentum. So we'll put that in here. Slow momentum, delta. I can't move in boost state, we're gonna be stuck in one spot. And in the idle state, if input dot is action just pressed X, then we should state chart dot send event boost. Okay, and then we'll go to the boost state. And boost state physics processing, boost idle dot emit, slow momentum delta, and then we should just be playing the boost idle animation. And then boost idle should only be going into two states. It should be going if input dot is action released, that is action just released. Is there just is action released button, or does it have to be just released? Returns true when the user stops pressing the action event in the current frame of physics tick. It will only return true on the frame or tick that the user releases the button. Okay, that's fine. An action just released X. Then state chart dot send event idle. And to test if the boost is actually going to work, I'm going to have to mess around with some multiplayer stuff. So that'll be a thing. I'm not going to get into multiplayer right now though. Let's just see if this boost idle animation works. Alright, let's see if the state chart is working before I code the animation. So we're walking, and then when we're idle, and if I press X, we're in boost. Yeah. Okay. So let's go here. We have a signal called boost idle, right? Boost idle. Global dot player node dot boost idle dot connect on boost idle. We need a boost idle in the enum, and we need a boost idle val, var boost idle val. Func on boost idle. Current anim equals boost idle. animation tree. Oh wait, I don't have it set up in the animation tree yet. Let's set it up in the animation tree. Got run val, jump, blend. The boost idle, I don't need a restart. Just the animation. Animation. This will be boost idle. Boost idle anim. And we need a blend. Boost idle blend. Okay. Let's make sure this is working. Yeah. So it's the boost idle. What? Look at that. That's funky. Animation tree. Boost idle blend equals boost idle val. Now, since I'm only going from idle to boost and boost to idle, I'm wondering if I need to do all of these alerts for boost idle, or if it'd be fine to just keep it. It depends on how quickly they switch. Yeah, I think I just need to. I think I need to write boost idle val for all these. Boost idle val equals alert f from boost idle val to 1 blend speed times delta, and we need this here set to 0. Okay. Here, here, and here. Okay, the animation should work for boost idle. Let's try it out. We're running X. Look at that. There we go, we got a boost idle animation, and I can't move or jump while doing it. Perfect. Nice. Okay, there's boost idle. I'll have to work on the actual boost part some other time. Let's do crouch. We can also do cartwheel. Let's do crouch first. Let's do crouch, or let's do crawl and crawl idle. So we'll have a state for crawl, a state for crawl idle, crawl idle, and oh, you know what? This should have been called boost idle. yeah, I'm gonna call this boost idle. Boost idle. Crawl idle, boost idle. So this needs to be to boost idle. Yeah, and the event will be called boost idle. Let's change that in the script really quick. Idle, boost, idle. Okay. Let me make sure that works still. We're running. Jump. And then when I hold X, we go into the boost. Okay. The boost out idle. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we have a crawl idle. Transition to, this can go to crawl, and then it will also go to back to idle. And we need another state for crawl. So to crawl is going to go to crawl, on event crawl. And then crawl idle can go back to just regular idle. To idle, on event idle. And crawl, I think I only need to put this back to crawl idle, because then crawl idle will take care of, yeah, going back to idle. To crawl idle. Going to crawl idle, on event crawl idle. And then idle also needs to go to crawl idle. Okay. Save that. Boost state. Crawl state. All right, crawl idle. On this state, physics processing. We also need to send a signal. Crawl idle dot emit. So let's create a signal for crawl idle and a signal for crawl. We want the slow momentum back to 0. Velocity.x 0, 10 times delta. Limit slow momentum, and then if input dot is action just pressed, similar to the idle, up, down, left, or right. So I can just copy this. Copy that. Up, down, right, or left, we want to send the event crawl. Yeah. Right, to crawl, on event crawl, yeah. State chart to send event crawl. And then I have a function up here called move player. I might need to modify it a little bit for crawl. Or maybe not, because I have speed as a parameter. That's kind of perfect. My move player is just getting the vector, it's getting the direction, it's rotating the direction. If not is airborne, it does the velocity, direction times speed. So I can just use the parameter as a speed. That was smart. I'm glad I used a parameter. Now I don't even have to modify that function. Else. Okay, else is for the airborne. Oh, except for this part right here. If not moving, we're going back to idle, but I need to go back to crawl idle. What if I moved this into the run state instead? Yeah, I could do that. For now, let's just see if the state machine works and the animations work. So on crawl idle, state physics processing, crawl idle, dot emit if input is action pressed, up, down, left, or right. then we are going to send event crawl. Let's create this crawl state. Signal state physics processing. Right. Crawl.emit. And here we need to move, oh my gosh, move player with a speed of, what's the running speed? We'll have a const crawl speed. It'll be, what, like 3? We'll start with 3. So we'll move player with our crawl speed. We need delta as well, right? Okay. Move player speed, delta is airborne. Now the issue here, I'm gonna have to change the function a little bit, but the issue here is this is gonna go, once I stop crawling, it's gonna go straight back to idle instead of crawl idle. Which honestly, I should probably figure this out right now before I do animations. So, transition to idle if not moving on ground. Run.emit, move player, run speed, delta. If. I kind of like this. I kind of want to keep this. I should just add a condition for crawling. Kind of like this. Speed delta is airborne, is crawling. Is crawling. Bool default false. Elif not is airborne. If is crawling, state chart dot send event crawl idle, else state chart dot send event idle. That way I don't have to modify any of these functions because they're automatically false, but here I'm going to have to put false, false, or false, true. This kind of feels like a magic number a little bit. Kind of feels like a magic number. What else do we have in the run? Move player, if not is on floor, we'll go back to idle. If input is action pressed. we can go back to idle. Wait, so the run... The run goes to idle and to jump. Idle is the one that goes to fall. Yeah. This knight is not really on ground. Maybe I should get rid of this and just do the if input is action pressed this or this or the or I don't know the best way to do that. We'll try it this way for now. Okay, so crawl idle, up, down, right, and crawl state physics processing, crawl dot emit, move player, and then if not is on ground or jump, I want to do something with that state. So we'll copy this, put it in here. So if not is on floor, state chart descend event idle. So I need to have a transition to just regular idle here as well. To idle. And honestly, I don't think I need this to crawl idle because that will be taken care of in the function. Wait, no, I still need it. Never mind. I'm done. Okay, this is going back to idle. On event, idle. So if we crawl off the ground, we should go back to idle. If input as compressed, state chart.send event idle as well. Or input that is action just pressed jump. Then we'll also just go back to idle. Just another way to exit the crawling state. Okay, now that I'm in, I need to actually get to the crawl state. So back in idle, if input is action pressed, let's do control, I think. Control for crouch. Let's add that to the input map. Control. Okay. Where's the idle state? If input dot is action just pressed control, then state chart dot send event crawl idle. Okay, and then crawl idle should just be doing searching for action pressed. Crawl to emit. One other thing that I'm missing. What was it? Here. If input that is action just pressed control. Did I do an I for that? Are you kidding me? No. Oh, I did do an I. Oops. Trash that. Control. Control. Okay. Control. Input as you press control state chart. Dot send event idle. Right, and crawl idle is going back to idle. Okay. Up here, this should be control. There. Crawl to idle. Control. And we can also do an or here. Or input that is action just pressed jump. Here we can also do if not is on floor, or input that is action just press jump, or input that is action just pressed control. Go to idle. So there's bunch. So you can either go back to idle by jumping or by hitting control again. Before I do the animations, let's see if the state chart works. Okay, so right now we are in the crawl. We're in the crawl idle state. Why? Why are we in the crawl idle state? Automatically putting us into crawl idle for some reason. Huh? Did I do the input map wrong? Input map control. Why are we going straight into the crawl idle state? If input that is action press control. Is escape? Does the computer recognize escape as control also? As soon as I hit escape, it's going to crawl idle. Why is it doing that? It should be going to idle. That wasn't a bug I was expecting to get. Input that is action just pressed control. Then we go to crawl idle. What if I change it to C? delete this. We'll add a new action called C. C. Okay. Let's change this to C maybe. C. No, it's still going straight to crawl idle. Oh, look, we have a bunch of errors. What's going on? On crawl idle state physics processing, the input map action control doesn't exist. Okay. Yeah, because I changed it. Hit escape. It goes straight to crawl idle. Why is it going straight to crawl idle? What's going on here? On crawl idle state physics processing. Crawl idle.emit. Something's sending it straight to crawl idle. Here it is. Found it. I didn't put an event for this. So idle is going straight to control. Event, crawl, idle. There we go. It needs to wait for an event. Okay. That was it. There we go. Okay, we're good. Okay, now we should go to crawl idle when I hit control. Yeah. And then I should go to crawl when I hit arrow keys. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the animation. So we have a crawl idle signal and a crawl signal. Now we're in here. Let's first update the animation tree. So idle and crawl idle, or crawl idle and crawl do not need a restart. Should be good on that. Okay, first this will be crawl idle anim. Crawl idle. Crawl idle blend. Whoa, that was weird. Whoa, what's going on? What's going on? You stay here. You come over here. Crawl idle blend. Okay, now we need crawl idle. No, just crawl. Crawl anim. What the? That is weird. Why is it doing that? idle enum. This will be our crawl enum. Let's add a blend too. This is our crawl blend. Log everything up. Alright, animation tree is updated. Let's update the script. So we need a crawl idle and the enums and a crawl. We need a var crawl idle val. So equal to 0. Var crawl val. 0. We need to connect to the global player node signals. Crawl idle dot connect on crawl idle global dot player node dot crawl dot connect on crawl. All right, let's create those functions. Func on crawl idle current enum equals crawl idle. Func on crawl current enum equals crawl. Okay. Next is blending the animations. So we need to add crawl idle, and we need to add crawl. Let's copy all this. Copy, paste, paste, and we need a crawl idle val to be lerp f from crawl idle val to 1 blend speed times delta, and we need crawl val to be lerped from crawl val, this one to 0 blend speed times delta. Copy, paste it there, change this to 1, change this to 0. Paste it here, change them all to 0. All right. Last step for the animations. is updating the animation function with our crawl idle blend. There's crawl idle val and animation tree for crawl blend. All right. My bad. Crawl val. Let's test it out. Test out the animations. See if things working. Let's see how the speed is. I might need to lower the crawling speed. All right. So we hit control. We're crawling. And we're in crawl idle. Ugh, I don't really like how that animation looks. I'll probably have to update that later. And if we move, we're crawling a little too fast, I think. Yeah, a little too fast. It's also stuttering a lot between these. Why is it doing that? That's weird. Why is it going up like that? Crawl idle. Why is it like hopping up? Because they're both down on the ground. Maybe if I just lower the blend speed, it might look better. Kind of like the jump to fall. Times 0.25, we'll quarter it. Quarter the speed, see if that looks better. So crawl idle to. Ugh. See if that looks any better. It's still doing that like height thing. I mean, it kind of looks better. I don't understand why when I stop it goes up like that. Like I'm crawling, I stop, and it like boosts up like that. Why is it doing that? I can't figure out what the problem would be here. In the state chart, I see it only going to crawl idle. Is it like kind of going into idle? When I stop moving, And when I start moving, it goes up. So when I stop, it goes up. And when I start, it goes up. Almost like it's going into a different state for like a split second. But I don't see a different state happening on the state chart in the top right. What would that issue be? Run, jump, fall, boost, on crawl. Oh, wow. I don't need a restart. What was that issue? If no direction, if not is airborne, if it's crawling, we just go to crawl idle. Wait, if not is airborne, if not false is true, yeah. Crawl idle. Crawl idle state physics processing. Crawl idle dot emit. Slow momentum. Is it because we're slowing the momentum for a split second? No. Up or down. Left, right. Crawl. Well, first of all, let's lower the crawl speed a little bit. Maybe like 2.5. Why is it doing that? Look at that, like jittering. That doesn't make sense. Why is it popping up like that? Maybe there's just an issue with the animation? Man, that's bugging me. Going down it's fine. And then as soon as I hit left, it jitters up, and when I stop. Stop, start, start, jitters up, stop, jitters up. That is sucky. Man, I really want to fix this issue. Why is it jittering? Why does it jitter like that? There's an issue with the animation? It can't be right, because they're both low. Like, why do you pop up like that? You're crawling, you stop, and it pops up, like his head is popping up. I don't know what's that issue is with the animation. Hey Dottie, good to see you again. I'm back. I'm on summer break so I can start working on this stuff again. I'm back to deal with the issues again though. This crawling animation is giving me issues because every time I stop, the head jitters up. And every time I start, it jitters up again. So it looks really weird. Like, look at that. Stopping and starting, it's like jittering up. And I don't understand why, because like the crawl idle animation is this low, and the crawling animation is that low. So why is it jittering up? It's almost like it's skipping into another animation for a brief second. I don't know. Yeah, they are blended. I have them in an animation blend tree right now. Maybe there's an issue with the animation tree. Let's turn the crawl to 1. See, that's fine when I try to start it this way. That's fine. Or if I turn the crawl blend to 1. This to 0. One thing I could try is I could I could keep crawl idle in one maybe. Like, what if I down here when I go to crawl I keep this on one? I don't think that'll change it. Oh, fail. So going down is fine. Wait. Oh my god, that totally worked. Why did that work though? It's not jittering anymore. I mean, I'll take it, I guess. Though it kind of bugs me that I have no idea why that works. But there we go. There's the crawl animation. Looks good, nice and smooth, no jittering. The crawl animation is going to be for like getting underneath like things and stuff. Cool. All right. Next animation. What else we got? Cartwheel? Do a cartwheel. The cartwheel is going to be like a dodge mechanic. Let's add a cartwheel animation. How does this look again? Cartwheel. Wee. Cool. Let's put the cartwheel in here. Let's put the cartwheel in the animation tree. Posy track on a Plymouth work? I have no idea what that means, Dottie. Okay, so I'm going to add another atomic state. This will be cartwheel. Cartwheel. And... oh wait, one thing I wanted to add before I go to cartwheel is... I want to be able to go from running to crawling, and I don't think I have that yet. Right. If I'm going from running and then I hit control, it doesn't work. I have to be stopped. So I want to go from running to crawling. So let's add that functionality in really quick. We just need to add a transition from run. Run to crawl idle. Let's be going to crawl idle on event crawl idle. Positrack on a Plymouth work, Joe Dirt quote. Search how's a positrack on a Plymouth work? Oh, is it like a joke? Oh, it's a thing. posi track on a Plymouth. It's also called a sure grip. It just does, it just does. It just works, yep. That's a drag racing thing. Are you into drag racing, Dottie? Okay, let's add cartwheel state. Cartwheel state. We need to add a signal for animation for the cartwheel state. So signal cartwheel. This one might be a little bit more complicated because I need to actually have it cartwheel in the direction it's facing. So we'll see how this works. Cartwheel, signals, state processing. Cartwheel dot emit. And this one's gonna have to be set on a timer to go back to idle, right? Cartwheel will just go back to timer, or cartwheel will just go back to idle. After a certain amount of time. To idle. It's not a drag racing thing? Oh. Or no, it is a drag racing thing. He drives a old orange Plymouth in the movie. Did you like watch that movie recently? Is that why you're saying that quote? I've never heard that quote. How does a posi track on a Plymouth work? We'll add just like a 3-second delay. How long is the animation though? Cartwheel animation is 1.33 seconds. So we'll transition to idle after 1.33 seconds. 1.33 seconds. I'm not the only person alive that doesn't know the quote. Whatever. Well, I know it now. I forgot to hook up this 2-car idle from running. Run state if input dot is action just pressed control, then we will go to crawl idle state chart dot send event crawl idle. Okay, now we should be able to go to crawling from running. Let's test that out really quick, and then I can work on the cartwheel. So running, control, crawling. There we go. Okay. Let's work on cartwheel. So idle state needs to go to cartwheel. Cartwheel needs to go to idle after 1.33 seconds. Let's add the input map for the cartwheel. It's also going to be like a dodge mechanic. The cartwheel is going to be like a dodge. So for now, let's do middle mouse button. Cart. Let's just call it dodge, I guess. Dodge, that'll be middle mouse button. So in idle state, if input is action just pressed dodge, where's dodge? Right there. Turns true when the user starts pressing the action event. Frame. Yeah, okay. State chart dot send event cart wheel. Let's hook up the animation before I try to finagle and figure out the direction issues. Alright, so in this we need to add cartwheel to the enums. Cart wheel var cart wheel val. Connect to the signal. Global dot player node dot cart wheel dot connect on cart wheel. Func on cart wheel. Current enum equals cartwheel. Okay, let's add it to the animation tree. So this is our cartwheel enum. Whoa, come back. Add the blend. Cartwheel blend. Hook it up. Boink, boink, boink. Okay, that's hooked up. We need to animation tree. Add the blend val. Where are we? What's going on here? What's going on here? Why can't I see the properties of the animation tree? Why is this saying it's an animation node? What is going on? Ported animation. Wait, what? Is the issue down here? Look at that. Whee! Okay, wait, what? Oh, there. Okay, there we go. There it is. That was weird. Alright, blend amount equals cart wheel val. Okay. Sun is on 10 today. Dottie, I'm sorry. I like don't even understand half the things you're talking about. What do you mean sun is on 10 today? Like the UV is 10? Is that what you mean? Sun is on 10 today. Oh, yeah, it's hot. It's hot. I live in San Antonio. What is it? Like 80, 90 out? 93, 92. It's pretty hot. I'm not complaining though because like the past few years it has actually not been that hot in San Antonio. Like San Antonio has been keep getting like storms coming through. So the summers have not been terrible. Like usually it would be like above 100 every single day. Now it's been staying under 100 the past few years. It's nice. You're in Wisconsin? WI Wisconsin? Is that what you mean? This. Okay. Cartwheel val equals alert F. Cartwheel val Q1 blend speed times delta. Okay, let's add all this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All this needs to go to 0. Blend all the animations together. I feel like I could organize this a little bit better if I have to go back and look at what actually is affecting what. But for now, this works. Okay, so I should see a cartwheel animation now. Let's try that out. What was the, oh, it was middle mouse button. Look at that. We have, oh, we need a reset on it. That's right. We need a restart for the cartwheel because it's not a loop. So a time seek. I'm gonna call it cartwheel restart. Why does it keep doing that? So weird. Cartwheel restart. And every time we go into this, we need to animation tree, restart the animation. Cartwheel restart seek request to 0. Okay. Second try. Didn't do the animation that time. Why is it not doing the animation? It's entering the state, but it's not doing the animation. Did I do something wrong? On cartwheel, animation tree, restart. Current anim equals cartwheel. Cartwheel restart, time seek. Jump restart is a time seek, -1. I feel like I'm getting a lot of issues that I should not be getting. On cartwheel, current aim equals cartwheel. Crest equals 0. The state chart in the top right says that we're entering the cartwheel state. What's the issue now? It was working before I had the secret quest in. Alright, let's try it again. So if I disconnect the secret quest, I connect this, disconnect this, and just plug in the cartwheel animation to this, it works. Does it once, but it doesn't do it again. And then when I plug in the secret quest, oh, I think I know what the issue is. Oh, I know what the issue is. It's because this on cartwheel is constantly being called by the player node, because we have it in physics processing. We just need it called once. So we'll do, where's the state? Cartwheel state. We need cartwheel state, state entered. Yeah, state entered. Disconnect the physics processing. Disconnect. And here we will do cartwheel.emit. To idle after 1.33 seconds. Alright, let's try that. Cartwheel. Is it gonna work again? Yeah, there we go. Works again. Alright, we got a cartwheel animation working. Now I need it. I need to get it working with running, and I also need it to kind of spring the player forward a little bit instead of just like one spot. Cartwheels. It's also gonna be a dodge mechanic, so I need it to kind of like spring the character forward a little bit. First, let's get it working with the running though, so I can cartwheel when I'm running. So run needs to have a transition to cartwheel. This is going to cartwheel state on event cartwheel. Where's the run state? Right here. If input dot is action just pressed dodge state chart. Anytime someone's like, I don't know what to do, cartwheel is always the answer. Cannot go wrong with the cartwheel, right? I think a cartwheel as the dodge mechanic is just so much more fun. Send event, cartwheel. Alright. See if it's working with run now. Yes, it is. That looks so cool. That's a cool animation. Nice. Whee. Thought I smoothed that out. Now I need to figure out the movement of the cartwheel. So the cartwheel needs to kind of spring the player forward a little bit. I might need to create another function just for this cartwheel, the dodge mechanic. Let me think. How do I want this to work? And if I'm running and I do the cartwheel, I kind of want to just keep moving forward at the same speed. But then when I'm idle and I do a cartwheel, I want it to move forward. Basically with the run speed. So I could have a function called cartwheel you know what? I could probably just use the same function. Move player. I just enter the speed, input direction. Honestly, yeah, let's just try it with this function. So let's add a physics processing, and let's call move player with, I guess, run speed, delta. See how that works. Might be easier than I thought. Cartwheel. Oh wait, no, that wasn't cartwheel. Yeah, look at that. For that, we don't move though. If move player, get vector. If not, else detected sending in idle. So it works with the running, not so much with the idle. False, false, true for is cartwheeling maybe? If direction, change of vector 3 inputter y. Transition to idle if no direction. Elif. Wait, Elif not is airborne. If is crawling. Crawl idle, else determines idle. Okay, so from idle, click it and then there, that's fine. And I also kind of want to lock it in a direction. I don't want to be able to cartwheel this way and change directions, right? That doesn't make sense. So I think I do need a different function for cartwheel. I kind of want to keep just working on the animations right now, though. Not worry about that functionality. Kind of just want to get all the animations going. What other animations do I have that I could do right now? We could do... swing, throw. Oh, throw. I could do throw. Throw, idle, and throw. Well, first it's pick up poo. So when I click right click, pick up, after that's done, immediately transition to throw idle. Yeah. What's going on? Pick up. Pick up poop. And this will immediately transition to throw idle. Throw idle. And this will go to throw. So this is going to throw idle. To throw idle. On event throw. No event. Just after a certain amount of time. Yeah. So how long is the pickup animation? 1.1 seconds? 1.1 seconds. So after 1.1 seconds, I also kind of want to change this to 1.34. Oh, what was it? 1.083, so 1.084. I'll do 1.09, I guess. 0.09. Keep it in tenths of a second. Okay, so let's go into throw idle. Let's go to pick up from idle to pick up. Oop. So this is going to pick up, event pick up. Oop. Let's add another input. So action will be throw. And throw is going to be right click, right mouse button. Yep. Okay. So idle is going. Let's code that in really quick. Signal, pick up, poop, signal, signal, throw, idle, and signal, throw. In the idle state, if input dot is action just pressed, what do they call it, throw, then state chart dot send event, pick up, poop. Okay, so idle is going to pick up will need a state entered. Why not? Why not? Go ahead and crash when we get out. When did I last save? Great, I have to start all of that throw animation over. Okay. Godot doesn't crash very often, but when it does, it's very annoying. Okay. This was pick up. Poop. And we need another one called throw idle. Throw idle. And another one called throw. Idle needs to transition to pick up. To pick up on event pick up. Pick up needs to transition automatically to throw idle after 1.08 seconds to throw idle. Save. Boom. And then I need to code the functionality in the idle state. Where's the idle state? Idle state right here. If input dot is action just pressed throw state chart dot send event pick up. Oop. Need to add the action, the map, add new action, throw. Why can't I add that? Oh, it's already in there. Throw. Okay. Save. Do I need to add the signals again? Yeah. Signal, pick up, poop, signal, throw, idle, and signal, throw. Okay. Now I need to add a state entered signal for pickup poop state on state entered pickup poop dot emit, and that's all I need to happen for that state, I believe. Oh wait, we need a slow momentum as well. Slow momentum delta. Yeah. Okay. So that'll go to throw idle. Throw idle state needs a physics processing. And this is a looping animation. So we can keep it in physics processing. Throw idle dot emit. Okay. And then in here, if input dot is action just released our throw, then we want to transition to throw. Throw. Is action release? Is that a thing? No? Okay. Input that is action just released. Throw. State chart descendant throw. So we need a transition here to throw. Assign to throw. Event throw. Throw is going to play once and then transition back to idle. To idle after its animation has finished. So the throw animation is how long? Throw. 1 second, exactly. So throw needs to transition after 1 second. Okay. I think that's all working correctly. And then the throw needs a state entered. Throw dot emit. Okay, let's hook up the animations. Let's go to the animation tree. Move that. This will be first our pickup. pickup animation. And this needs a restart. Pick up, poop, restart. Okay. Blend. Okay. There's the first one. Next is throw idle. Throw idle. Throw idle anim. Let's go into a blend. We don't need a restart on this one. Throw restart, no, throw blend. Because it's a looping animation. So this needs to go there, there, there. Because throw idle is just a loop, so we don't need a restart. And then finally, the throw animation. Throw anim. This does need a restart. So we'll add a time seek. Throw restart. And finally a blend. Squish all this together. Throw blend. Okay. This is supposed to be throw idle blend. Get rid of that too. Okay. Save. Animation tree is hooked up. Let's code it. Pick up. Poop. And we need a throw idle and a throw. Let's add vals for all of them. Var pick up poop val. Go to 0. Var throw idle val. Var throw val. Global dot player node dot, what were the signals called? Was it just pick up? Same thing probably. Global dot player node. The other signal was throw idle, I think. Throw idle dot connect. Connect on throw idle. And finally the throw. Connect on throw. Oh wait, connect throw dot connect. Okay. Okay. Add good. Great, the functions. So func on pickup poop current enum equals pickup poop. Okay. Func. Oh, and we need to restart. Animation tree. Where's the pickup poop restart? There it is. Alright. Func on throw idle. Current enum equals throw idle, and we do not have a restart for that. These going away? Yep, just throw left. Func on throw. Current enum equals throw. And this one does need a restart. Animation, because it's not a loop. So animation tree throw restart. Seek request. 0. Okay. Let's add the stuff here. Animation tree. First, pick up poop blend. Pick up poop val. Then we have throw idle blend equals throw idle val. And finally, the throw blend equals throw val. Okay, update animations function done. Last is the blend animations. The one that takes the longest. So we need pick up poop in here. We need throw idle in here. And we need throw in here. Throw. Okay. Set all of these to 0. To 1, blend speed. Nope. Blend speed times delta. Okay. And then we have a throw idle val equals lerp f throw idle val to 0, blend speed times delta. And then a throw val equals lerp f from throw val to 0, blend speed times delta. Okay. Copy all this. Copy. Paste it here. This is throw idle, so throw idle needs to be 1 and pick up poop val 0. Here, this is throw, so pick up poop 0 and throw is a 1. Okay. Let's copy this. Add it to this. Almost there, almost there. That equals 0. And then we can Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. And is it all going to work? First try? No way. Okay, so we've got a cartwheel. We've got a crawling. Let's try our pickup. So, boom. Throw. Okay, so when I click it once, it won't throw it. Click it once. So I want it to throw automatically. I think I need a holding throw variable. We could put a guard in there. Also, why is it stuttering like that? Do I just need a... make the timer shorter, maybe? Wait. Yeah, maybe I need to make the timer a little bit shorter. On this, just 1 second. Well, let's make it 0.9 seconds. 0.9 seconds. Let's try that. That was a little bit better. Also, if it starts and ends at the same place, I don't really want it to blend, huh? Or do I? Let's try to get rid of the blend. When we go from pickup to throw, I can leave the pickup at a 1 maybe. Or I can get rid of this. Let's get rid of this, see if that works. Let's just comment this out. Oh, let's leave it at 1. Let's leave it at 1. Yeah, that gets rid of the stuttering. Okay. I want to go back to here and change this back to 1.08 and 1.09, right? Perfect. Sometimes it fits perfectly. Maybe I do want to restart the animation every time, so it doesn't stutter like that. Yeah, let's try restarting it. Animation tree. Then I also want to go straight to throw. One. Wait, what's going on? What's going on? So I have that set to 1, so it stays there. I do want this to restart every time. Yeah, I want this to restart every time. Okay. Throw, idle, restart. Oh my god, why is it doing that? Every time I rename something, it like weirdly transforms everything. Throw, idle, restart. So now in here, we want to animation tree. We want to where am I? Animation tree. Throw, idle, restart. Can I move this up? No? I thought I could move parameters up. What if I disconnect, throw, restart, and throw blend? Like that. Still there? That's gonna bug me. That's gonna bug me that this is not with this one. I thought I could move up and I thought I could move parameters up and down. Let me look that up really quick. Can you change the order of the parameters in the animation tree inspector Godot? No, you cannot manually reorder or drag and drop the parameters inside the Godot engine. Alphabetical tree order? Is it alphabetical? It is not alphabetical. Now that I have a restart, let's see if that works better. Got the screen bug. Yeah, so it's restarting every time. Cool. Wait, that didn't restart that time. Pick up poop. Go idle. Oh, I didn't set to 0. Duh. Now it's staying at 0. Is there another way I could do this? Wait, what if I just... No, that wouldn't work, that wouldn't work. So I feel like I do want to restart every time, because if I restart it, it'll match up with that one better. The issue is now it's... I feel like that can be fixed just in here, maybe? Bruh, what is going on? in the player script, on throw idle, we could have just the throw idle.emit in a state entered. Like that. So it's only called once. Will it still loop, is my question. Yeah? Okay. That works. Yeah, that looks good. And then what else did I need to add? I wanted to be able to go from pick up straight to throw. I don't want to have to wait for idle state. So pick up here. This needs to transition to throw as well. So we go into throw, on event throw. And this will be in physics processing. Something here. So that I can exit that state early. I also want to slow momentum in here in case I exit it early. And in the throw state, just in case I exit it early, state physics processing, slow momentum. So, okay. Let's see how that's working out. Okay, so it's not just released. I need to like actually have a variable, I think. Every time I release it, if input that is action just released. Wait, in here, if we're already in idle, then we could just go straight to throw. But in this one, I need to say if we release it, then what, like a 0.5 second timer? We can do like await create get tree dot create timer 0.5 seconds dot timeout, and then we can go to throw. Let's try that. So I can pick up, hold, throw, and then if I just click it, still a little too quick. 0.8 seconds. Or what about just like, how long is this timer? To throw. How long is this timer? 1.09. So yeah, maybe like 0.9 seconds. Or just 1 second. There's a guard. How does guard work? Expression that must evaluate to true for the transition to be taken. I think the timer is the best bet. So if I click it, it still goes up and then throws. I click and hold and then throw. And I think I need to do a quicker transition here between throw idle and throw. So throw idle to throw idle needs to be lurked to 0 faster times 2. And this one. Maybe not really. Honestly, that's a terrible throw animation. We have a restart on throw idle. Do I need this one? What if I set this back to 0 now that I have a restart? No, it's still jittering. Alright. I'm happy with how everything's working right now. I think I'm going to end it there for now.